7. Barrett outside the switch. Doncic goes all the way.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope you guys are doing well, but before we officially get to the video, I want to thank you guys so much for the great amount of support. I've been nearly doing this channel for like a year, and for you guys to stick with me from the beginning, or anyone that just recently subscribed, like, I really appreciate it. This channel, like I said, like I've said a million times, this channel literally is impossible without you guys. Yes, I make the content, but who smashes the like button? Who views the video? Who gives me positive feedback down below in the comments section? Who hates on my content that motivates me to continue to try to make better content for you guys? It is all of you that check out my content, and I really appreciate you guys, especially the ones that go above and beyond and take a very optional approach to be a member. Like, you guys are just absolutely amazing. Literally every single one of you guys are amazing. But anyway, I'm going to be talking about one of the most interesting prospects when it comes to the 2021 NBA draft, and his name is Josh Giddey. He's been really raising up boards if it's 1 through 14 of the lottery. I know the draft is a while away, like it's very far away, but Josh Giddey, I just thought, is like someone who's very interesting. It would be really cool to break him down. I watched a lot of film on him. What's he good at, what he's not good at. Some people actually asked me, Noah, like how, like they're like, Noah, is Josh Giddey good at basketball? Is he being overrated? He's really been climbing up boards. He's kind of been falling off of some boards because there's not a lot of footage of him, because he's very young. He's only 18 years old. And of course, a lot of people are really skeptical when it comes to these overseas basketball players. But I'm personally a fan of Josh Giddey. Do I think he's going to be a superstar? Probably not. But I do like some things that are going to translate over to the NBA. And I was like, yeah, why not make a video for you guys? You guys wanted to hear my thoughts. I make broad NBA content at times. I make Knicks content. I'm trying to branch out and do more broad NBA content, or just basketball in general. But let me know down below your thoughts on Josh Giddey after the video, and let's get right into it. Starting off with Josh Giddey's physical profile, he stands at 6'8" and 205 pounds, as he's only 18 years old with a 6'7" wingspan. You could say having a 6'7" wingspan definitely isn't the longest. When you are 6'8", you definitely want a range of like 6'10" and up when it comes to that height. So yes, he isn't really physically gifted when it comes to these long arms, but he is pretty physical and disciplined on the defense side of the basketball, but he still has ways to go, especially because he isn't the greatest of athlete in the world. Josh Giddey really makes up for like not having the best of like athleticism with his basketball IQ, his feel for the game, his ability to see things before they happen, his ability to really dissect defenses, really change the game of basketball, or that game he's playing in, with his pace. The game isn't too fast for him. Like I said, he's really good at dissecting defenses. He looks really comfortable out there, and he's definitely a top 5, like one of the smartest players potentially coming out of this draft class. And I'm not gonna say he's a terrible like athlete whatsoever. Is he on the level of like a Ben Simmons coming out, who's known as his point forward, a Cade Cunningham? Those guys are better like athletes, of course. Cade Cunningham is actually being knocked on like when it comes to his athleticism, even though I actually think it is higher than a Josh Giddey. Even though if Josh Giddey sees a lane, he is going to attack it strong and try to slam it down as hard as he can, but he definitely makes up for it with his basketball IQ, his ability to really see the floor, and just the passes he makes are absolutely just amazing. Now moving on to like more of just like branching out to the overall offense side of the basketball of things, we're going to get into his handle. Is his handle the greatest in the world? Is it like Kyrie Irving on a string? No. Is it like a Jamal Crawford? No. Even though those handles are truly special, if you have that handle on the level of a Kyrie Irving or Jamal Crawford, he may even be higher up on this board, because that really shows that he's really good at creating separation. But is it like on the level of truly fundamental like a Tony Parker? It is like really fundamental in my opinion, but sometimes it can get a little too high. It can get loose in transition, but I actually think he has a solid handle. But there is question marks about really creating separation. Like, he has shown like his ability to really create enough separation to get a shot off, but it's not huge separation like a Luka Doncic when he's playing overseas with this step back in his arsenal. Like with this crossover, he's creating enough, but is it going to be enough when it comes to the NBA level, you know? And now getting into like his feel for the game again, this actually goes along with like his finishing, which he has some parts of his game that he has to work on when it comes to finishing, but I actually like his touch like around the rim. Sometimes he puts up a floater in the lane, which I think he should use like more. It's kind of rare to see it on film, but when you do see it, I'm like, okay, he should probably use that floater more like in his arsenal. But he is 6'8", there's going to be a big advantage. So you're saying he does have the capability of posting up guys, really attacking strong. But he's not the strongest of guy in the world. Yes, he is 6'8", but he only has a 6'7" wingspan. He weighs like under 210 pounds. So how does he really do finishing at the rim? Keep in mind, he's also 18 years old. He still has the capability of really bulking up, because some players, when they come from overseas, they're not the strongest in the world. They're just working on the fundamentals. They're not really hitting the weight room. But just like any young player, like what they struggle with of not being the strongest in the world, unless you're like Zion Williamson, of course, at a young age, he struggles when there's contact like at the rim. Keep in mind, he is playing grown men, but sometimes there's players even shorter than him that kind of like undercut him in a way, not like of course under his feet making any like dirty plays, but just like really getting up into his jersey and trying to make him feel uncomfortable when getting to the rack. And sometimes he can get a little flustered, he can get a little frustrated, because he understands that he's not the strongest in the world. He's young and he's playing up against these grown men. But yes, he does need to get better when it comes to finishing at the rim with contact, but he does have the right amount of touch around the rim. He does a solid job catching defenders like on his hip at times as well, something he's really going to learn to use more at the next level, especially if you're not the best of athlete in the world. You have to be really smart when it comes to really finding these creases in the defense, because you're not going to really blow by guys. Now getting into his jump shot. His jump shot's definitely been a concern when it comes to NBA scouts. He has gotten better off the catch, but off the dribble is definitely the big concern. He has a fundamental jump shot, like he has a good release, he has a good base, like he has like the beef technique like you've learned since like you're in kindergarten when it comes to just truly everything that you need in a jump shot. But he has the slow release. Will it really be good enough to translate to the next level, this slow type of release? You could say like it was a concern with Luka Doncic coming out, but Luka Doncic creates enough separation so then he can get it off, so then the defender is farther away from him, when this isn't really the case for Josh Giddey yet, to really have the step back in his arsenal, to really create separation with a good enough handle. Luka had a better handle coming out, but the slow jump shot is kind of a concern when it comes to Josh Giddey, but I do think he has smooth fundamental mechanics. Yes, sometimes he could have the moments that he's not really shooting it above the rim and he could fall short on them. I don't know if that's because he's young and he also has to like put on more weight, but his jump shot isn't completely broken, especially in catch and shoot situations, but his percentages have gone up. But for someone who's most likely gonna have the ball in his hands a lot, he needs to get better performing off the dribble and creating his own shot, like if it's from mid-range territory, if it's from downtown. Sometimes it could be long, sometimes it could be short. There's a big time inconsistency when it comes to Josh Giddey's jump shot. Alright, now getting into like the thing that jumps right off the page when it comes to Josh Giddey. It is his playmaking. It is absolutely off the charts. It is the main thing you notice when you watch Josh Giddey play basketball. He could make literally every pass out there. He's just a natural. His feel for the game, his ability to see things before they happen, cutting back door, reading the pick and roll, reading the defender when it comes to a pick and roll situation, just really dissecting players with his eyes, catching defenders off guard, literally no look pass, dishing it in the corner with one arm, just swinging it out there like effortless, like Patrick Mahomes. His ability to really dissect defenses, for him to just make these crazy reads at such a young age, it's just so much fun to watch. But the thing that's so awesome about him, he's not always looking for the flashy play. It's a fundamental, just gets the defense to collapse and he dishes it off inside to the big man and it's an easy bucket. That is definitely one of the best things when it comes to Josh Giddey. His ability to pass the basketball, his playmaking, his court vision, his basketball IQ is off the charts. If it's finding people on the perimeter, inside, mid-range territory, making the right reads in transition, he also has this capability, which I think is an underrated part of his game, rebounding the basketball. Before you know it, after he grabs that rebound, he's going to throw a beautiful outlet pass. Or before you know it, he's going to grab that rebound and go coast to coast and finish it at the rim. He's not to that point that he's going to pull up from three in transition, but talk about someone who just reads the floor like an absolute wizard and someone that just graduated from Harvard. Now getting into his defense, this is something he really needs to work on when it comes to physicality of the NBA. He might have to spend some time over like in the G League. I don't know if he's going to like right away be in the NBA. I think he is more ready than an Aleksej Pokusevski coming out when it comes to the physical side of things. Even though I'm really high on Aleksej Pokusevski, he was known as more of a project compared to a Josh Giddey as of right now. Josh Giddey, good off-ball defender. His ability to really read passing lanes, knowing when to jump on it. He actually makes good reads defensively, and he tries to be physical. It's just that he's not strong enough there, and he's not the fastest of dude in the world, so he's going to struggle with these twitchy types of point guards, especially when it comes to the NBA level. But he's shown he can't consistently stay in front of point guards. He's physical and moves his feet. And I'm actually one of those believers, it doesn't matter how fast you are, if you move your feet good enough, if you have the right coach, if you're disciplined, if you have the the right technique. He really just does a really good job timing steals, knowing where someone's going to go with the basketball and making the right read and stealing the ball and just making a beautiful pass in transition. That's the thing that's just so amazing. Josh Giddey could literally change the game with his eyes. He could change the entire flow of the game. He could change the entire momentum with one big steal, throwing it ahead in transition, just making the beautiful read, and he just makes everyone around him better. You just know he's the best basketball player out there when you watch Josh Giddey play. I think he could be a good defensive player, and sometimes he can be caught flat-footed on defense, but he does try. He is physical, but yet we have to keep in mind he's not the strongest of dude in the world. He might need to spend some time in the G League to get used to the physicality. He is playing up against grown men, but there's not these twitchy guys consistently playing overseas, of course, where he is, compared to the G League guys that have played in the NBA in the past. For example, a guy of Jarrett Jack, he's not crazy twitchy like he used to be, but he was a guy before you know it, he is blowing past you. But Josh Giddey definitely needs to get better as an on-ball defender, in my opinion. This is someone when I just listen to interviews, he's relentless. This dude wants to learn. The coaches just say all great things about him. He has this uber type of high motor as well. Misses a shot, he's gonna track it down as well. If it's getting to the rack, he's gonna have a second jump and he's gonna try to go up there as strong as he can and put it up and in. This dude has the motor. He wants to be great. I'm not sure if he's gonna be great at the next level. I do like some things that translate, but yes, he still has things to work on when it comes to playing on-ball defense. His jump shot, his ball handling ability, and just getting stronger as a player. Keep in mind, he's only 18 years old. I'm not sure if he's going to be great, but I like some things that he brings to the table, and I'm definitely rooting for him if he ends up in the G League drafted by an NBA team. He definitely needs patience because I think he has the work ethic. I really think he has what it takes, but he's definitely going to have to quicken up that jump shot if he wants to get it off at the next level. This is someone who I actually think has a solid first step of getting to the cup, but would I like to see him add a mid-range game to his arsenal? Yes. But I really appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys enjoyed, let me know down below in the comment section. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and as always, guys, have a humble day or night. Peace out, y'all.